Hi friends, welcome back to the Homespun Annie channel. So today I was going to share with you my very first attempt at making sourdough pizza crust. And I have been wanting to make sourdough pizza crust for a very long time and finally got around to it the other day. And it's actually been a very long time since I have even made sourdough bread. It might even be getting close to a year since I've actually made a loaf of sourdough bread. But I just keep my sourdough starter in the fridge. And when I keep it in the fridge, I feed it once a week about. And then if I keep it out on the counter, I'll feed it every day. And I usually keep it out on the counter when I'm wanting to use the sourdough discard for something. So, but yeah, I finally got around to making sourdough pizza crust. And it's not hard, but of course it takes a little bit more time because you're using sourdough. So it's not hard, it just takes more time. So one of my 13-year-old son's favorite foods, of course, is pizza. And I made homemade pizza a couple months ago now, and he said that he loved it so much. He said he loved it better than, we usually get Papa Murphy's pizza, and he said he liked it better than Papa Murphy's pizza. So I definitely want to try and make homemade pizza more often, especially because it saves a lot of money. And of course, you can control the ingredients and the quality of the ingredients, which is always a good thing. So when I first started making sourdough and learning how to make it, I remember how surprised I was that you don't actually need sourdough like you would if you're making a normal yeasted bread. So you do this technique of the stretching and folding, and it's just more of a gentle technique, but it has become one of my favorite parts of baking sourdough bread. I just love how soft the dough is. And with this pizza crust recipe, it only called for doing the stretching and folding one time. Whereas when I make bread, you do the stretching and folding several times. So here I'm getting it dumped out onto the cutting board, and it took a little bit, but it finally came out. And of course, another one of the things that I love about sourdough is how soft the dough is. It's very sticky, but it's also very soft. So here I'm cutting it into 4 pieces. And this dough could easily make 4 probably 12-inch pizza crusts. And I wasn't going to be making 4 though, so I did a little experiment and decided that I was going to put 2 in the freezer and see how they turn out. So I took 2 of them and shaped them into little discs. And then put them on a baking sheet. I put parchment paper on the baking sheet. And then I put them on the baking sheet and stuck them in the freezer until they were nice and frozen. And then put them in a large Ziploc bag. So, yeah, I'm going to pull them out at some point and thaw them and see how it turns out. I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. Like I said, it's a bit of an experiment, but we'll see. Hopefully it works. Because it would be nice to be able to make, a couple big batches of pizza dough and just keep them in the freezer. Just to make it a little bit more time efficient, I guess you could say. Just to be able to whip out a couple pizzas. So I do not know the technique for shaping out pizza crust. And it's probably something where I could easily find some videos on YouTube on how to do it. And so I just kind of work it out and in my own little way to get it into as much of a round shape as I can. And while I was getting the dough ready, getting it cut and shaped, I had the pans, the cast iron skillets, in the oven getting really, really hot. And so I pulled them out of the oven and then added some avocado oil to the bottom of the pan. And that way, when you lay the dough into the bottom of the pan, it starts to fry the bottom of the dough. And because it's so hot, when you get it in the pan, it just kind of seals up the bottom of the crust, so it's not soaking up the oil. So you're not getting like a, soggy, oily crust. But it gets it really nice and crispy, which I really love that texture on the bottom of pizza crust. And so here I just used a simple, I think it was like spaghetti sauce, and was just what I had. And of course some mozzarella cheese. And the only thing about the crust that, I love it when the edges of the crust bubble up really big. And it didn't happen on this crust, but I think, I don't know, I'm going to keep working at it and figure out if I need to make the oven hotter, maybe. And I also have some pizza stones that I would like to try to use and see how the crust comes out on those. But that's one of the things that I love about cooking is it's just experimenting with, tweaking everything until I get it exactly the way that I really like it. So here's the other pan. This one's smaller. This is an 8-inch cast iron that I have. And I got the oil in it. It's very hot. And then I got the second bit of pizza dough in as much of a circle as I could get it into. And of course, it's not perfect, but that's fine. I feel like pizza crust should look really rustic. I don't like a perfect looking pizza. I like the rustic looking pizzas. And for the pepperoni, I found, I can't remember the brand now, but I found a pepperoni that didn't have any preservatives and also didn't have any of like the nitrates and all of the other kind of cruddy stuff that you're going to find in cheap pepperoni. And yeah, it was really good. I just wish I don't remember the brand. But it was right next to the regular pepperoni, so. And I'd rather spend a little bit more and get better quality than just use the cheap stuff that's not very good for you. And I had the oven set to 425. I'm probably going to try and go a little bit hotter next time and see if that maybe helps the crust to bubble up more around the edges. But like I said, I'll just keep on experimenting. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, if you could give it a like and subscribe to my channel and then share it with someone else you might think would enjoy it. And then I will talk to you in the next video.